Hello everyone, welcome back for another Sunday idea. If you're like me and you have a lot of stamps and you don't always want to color them in, I'm going to show you a quick way to do that. I'm going to use this Sweet Buttercups stamp set. It's actually the Craft Your Life project kit from Altenew. It has the stamp set, the dies, stencils, all that. I didn't want to do any of that. I wanted to show you another idea. I went looking for what I had. I need yellow, and this is Altenew's, what is it called? Can't see it. Fresh lemon, and their grass field, and then I have a sponge dauber. All right, I have my image panel, my layer, and my card base, and my Memento ink. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my image. Okay. And I'm going to stamp it like this. And I'm kind of pushing in the middle to make sure that middle comes out. And then I'm going to stamp some leaves with it. Okay. Got to make sure that I get this on here. You know what? I'm going to create a mask. I don't have one in there. So I'm going to stamp this again. And I'm going to use this edge. I have a nice wide edge. And then all I have to do is, I'm just going to basically cut it on the line. When you create a mask, you want to cut it on the line. And the reason being is then when you stamp, you won't have a space. All right, let's see if I've got it right now. Okay, this goes up here. There we go. There. All right, let me ink this up again because it's been a while. And I'm going to use and see how I'm kind of going down in there. And see, now my leaf is behind my flower. And I'm going to get a scrap paper because I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to add another leaf over here. Ooh. And I will go off again. All right, there. Now I'm just going to leave my scrap paper. To do this technique, I have to clean these, so give me a minute to clean them. What you need to do is you need I have got to cut this out because it's not going to work if it's not cut out. It was all one piece, so when you do this, you have to have your stamps fairly close. Doesn't have to be perfect, and I'll show you. So I'm going to add this on here. I'm going to take my green ink, and I'm going to ink up the back of this. And then I'm going to take, and I'm going to go over, and I have to, this one doesn't match up perfectly either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece of masking of Post-it note, and I'm going to mask it. I'm going to take two pieces. I'm going to mask it here. And I'm going to mask it down here because it's going to come off. All right, let me ink this up again. And I'm going to stamp this down. All right. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to put this one back over here, stamp this. And I'm going to go this way and this way. I got to ink it back up again. I only need the ink up this side over here. And there, I've colored that in. Now let me do the same thing with this one. And I don't think I have to block it off as much. Let's see. I think I'm okay. There. And then I'm going to take this off and I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to use yellow and do my buttercup. All right, now let me see if I can figure out how this goes on. All right, this. Okay, that's how it goes on. So what I want to do is I want to put it on that way. And this is a great way to color your image quick and easy. All right, now this goes on like so. And there we've got it colored in, and we didn't have to do a bunch of coloring. Most of the times your stamp's already cut out. This was a big block, so it was a little different. So let me move this stuff out of the way. And then to finish this off, I want to do some sponging around the edge. And I've chosen green. So I'm just going to give it some color. Okay, now let me move this out of the way. I'm going to move that up there, and I'm going to clean this off. And I'm going to use, that's water. I'm going to use my alcohol because it dries faster. And I'm going to wipe that off. All right, let's get our card. First thing I have to do before that, stamp my sentiment. And I've chosen Hello, that came from the same stamp set. And I'm going to stamp it in black. So let me get this down here. Like so. All right. Time to put it together. I'm just going to wave it a little, make sure that black is dry. Right, like so. And this was the closest green I could find to go with it, so make sure I don't have any black ink on my fingers. And I'm going to put this flat. And I cut it smaller than it normally is. I wanted some white to show around it. And let's finish it off with some gold gems. Okay. Ooh, I almost... See, that's how I get the glue dots on there. Okay. So there's today's Sunday idea. Come back next week to see what other ideas I come up with for my Sunday idea. Have a sensational Sunday. Bye.